Thanks for clicking on the video, and hope you enjoy. We got Death Battle for you today.
Thank you for clicking on the video. Thanks for checking the video out. This is a video by what's these guys? Death Battle, Metal Sonic versus Cell. I'm assuming Cell wins this, but I'll have to wait and see.
Cell versus Metal Sonic. Which copycat?
I don't know anything about Metal Sonic. That's all I'm fucking hearing for a while now, because he sent 50 of them.
It is truly the superior model.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. There's a monster stalking Gingertown. No one who's seen it has lived to tell the tale. All that left behind was their clothes. Something.
It's gonna continue for a while.
Insides, leaving only a shadow behind.
Some kind of creature driven only by the need to feed. Earth's new
No
apex
shit, obviously
predator,
was introduced
the
in Sonic.
ultimate life form.
The Namekian Piccolo went to investigate this manslayer
Hey,
and discovered that it
Elvis,
was
how's it going?
intelligent. Its tail could unravel to absorb its hapless victims and add their energy to its wretched
I don't think that's
disposal.
possible.
But the nightmare was only just beginning, because for its last trick, somehow this
It'll probably just like give them for the next month if it goes past.
freak of nature
I
knew
assume.
the Kamehameha.
The mystery of this creature's origin was decades in the making. Years ago, the world was terrorized by the most advanced paramilitary organization in history, the Red Ribbon Army.
Until they got rocked by this little kung fu gremlin, Son Goku.
But Red Ribbon's dream of revenge lived on within their head scientist, Dr. Giraud.
Hiding away in his spooky cave laboratory,
Also,
Giraud would go
I never actually watched OG Dragon Ball. I just watched Z and onwards. So there's a lot I don't actually know about original Super.
to work studying the Z fighters from afar, learning everything there was to know about them.
And building a series of androids that would destroy his spiky-haired nemesis once and for all.
He made a ton of them. Infinite energy androids, key absorbing androids, trucker head androids, and even ginger androids.
However, none of Giraud's creations were
Really?
capable of
I just never. I enjoyed Z, but it's also where I started. So
matching that drive to improve that Goku and his fellow martial artists possessed.
Luckily,
the only thing I know from original Z is that Bulma flashes Kid Goku.
he had one more
That's
android
all I know
left.
about original
A cute little
Dragon
booger
Ball.
so complex he'd take years after Giraud's death to complete. Its name was Cell.
Born from a single cell, get it? This android possessed the genetic information of all the greatest warriors that had battled on Earth, and, when fully evolved, would become unstoppable.
And with their DNA, Cell absorbed all their powers and techniques too.
Common
But the best Dragon Ball is abridged. Like, nothing beats Dragon Ball Z abridged.
among all of them is the power to manipulate Ki, or
Team
the energy
Force
that
sounds
exists in all
amazing.
living things, and weaponize it to fire energy blasts, fly at faster than light speeds, move things with telekinesis, and create force fields.
From the humans, Krillin and Tien, Cell knows the multiform technique, Destructo Disc, and the Tri-Beam, his extra special favorite. Oh, weird, I'm not seeing Chaozu on this list. Sorry, bud.
Is Chaozu human?
Oh.
Okay. Cell can
He's a Pokemon. He's a Chaozu.
fire the Death Beam, as well as breathe in and travel through the vacuum of space with the alien genes of Frieza and his father.
And because he's got Piccolo's
Sounds fucking
DNA,
weird.
Cell can regenerate humongous damage to his body at the cost of some Ki.
Cell has survived having half his body vaporized multiple times, and cannot be
Yeah.
destroyed unless the small cluster of cells at the core of his being is eradicated.
Should that little bugger survive, Cell will always return, even stronger than before because of the Saiyan DNA he got from Goku and Vegeta. Definitely the cream of the genetic crop.
Sure, he can perfectly replicate attacks like the Gallic Gun, Spirit Bomb, and of course Kamehameha, as well as teleport by locking onto a living being's key signature.
But the best part of being a Saiyan is how much crazy stronger they get every time they almost die.
They can even evolve to become
Yep.
orders of magnitude stronger in the midst of battle. Combine that with Cell's healing factor,
Technically, because of the Zenkai boost that Saiyans get, he can get fucking strong if he just repeatedly like gets close to death and comes back the whole time.
And he's effectively
Just
the
like
ultimate
Vegeta
warrior.
and
Like a
Goku.
perpetual shonen motion machine.
Driven by a biological imperative, Cell wanted nothing more than to devour Giro's previous androids, 17 and 18, believing it would make him perfect.
Only one problem. The Cell we know was born in the future, and both 17 and 18 had been destroyed. So he murdered Trunks and went
Yep.
back in time. Not our Trunks, future Trunks. Well, not future Trunks, but another future Trunks. It's very complicated. There's
Yeah,
like 5 timelines.
The fucking time shenanigans in Dragon Ball is so fucking convoluted.
Cell defeated and absorbed the androids, he evolved, not only getting stronger, but changing his personality and developing a lust for battle.
He became less creepy bug serial killer and more, well, Saiyan. After exploiting that very Saiyan arrogance and warrior's pride, Cell finally became perfect.
And easily dominated Trunks and Vegeta, the latter of whom had decades of battle experience under his belt.
Perfect Cell's power was off the charts. He could threaten the whole Earth just by powering up. With a full power Kamehameha, he was even capable of destroying our entire solar system.
While the vast majority of our solar
This really
system's
is
mass
gonna
is
go
located
on
in the sun,
for
this
fucking
still
ever.
means that Cell's Ki wave would have to reach 2.8 billion miles to eradicate every planet.
But Wiz, maybe he was just exaggerating.
Not likely. Cell's claim has been backed up in multiple guidebooks and even demonstrated outright in the
Yeah.
video games.
Cell's even stronger in the anime adaptation. Consider
The one thing with Dragon Ball Z's time jumping shenanigans is when they go back in time, it technically doesn't change their own future because they're just jumping to a different timeline technically.
Considering the time Frieza blew up
Yes,
Namek,
people,
in the
it is
anime,
so
the
fucking
explosion
going.
was literally hundreds of light years
50
wide
people.
and lit up the friggin' galaxy.
And Cell was far stronger than Frieza was at that point in time.
Hell, the Namekians could sense him all the way from a different galaxy and thought he might be a threat to the whole universe.
He's also
I did
incredibly
not
fast,
know that.
capable of blitzing even the strongest Z fighters at the time. Goku flew from Grand Kai's planet of heaven all the way to hell, hundreds of billions of light years in half a minute. And that was in his base form.
Yeah, that's cool, but how about the power to squeeze mini Cell Juniors out of your butt? What? Never heard of that key technique? Call it the Kegel.
Perfect Cell
Fuck's
was
sake.
entirely without peer and, no longer wedded to Giro's petty grudge, decided to prove it with a tournament.
The Cell Games! And if Goku couldn't even beat him, what hope did anyone else have? Vegeta couldn't even handle a Cell Junior.
Their last hope was Goku's own son, Gohan.
It is so dumb. There is a lot of bad fathers in anime, but he is definitely one of the worst fucking fathers in all anime. It's like, cool, I can't beat you, or I don't want to fight you anymore. Yeah, take my kid and fight him instead.
Cell arrogantly let him power up. Gohan unleashed his rage, pushed the bug monster to his absolute limits, and beat him. Wow, Cell, you really are related to Vegeta, aren't you?
In truth, Cell was a victim of his own success. The same Saiyan genes that made him all-powerful also sowed the seeds of his defeat.
He got so mad he even blew himself up. Maybe he does have some Chaozu in him after all.
Even that wasn't enough to totally put him down.
Yeah, 'cause he
and
comes
came
back again.
with the same Super Saiyan power-up that Gohan had just unlocked.
Super
Yeah.
perfect Cell. Now with more lightning. In a battle
Good job.
for the ages, Cell put the entire weight of his biological programming against one lone Saiyan and went the distance.
But in the end, it still wasn't enough. No matter how brilliantly Dr. Giro copied the Z fighter,
So they're not going to mention the father-son Kamehameha. Because technically Goku wasn't there, even though the show showed him there.
he still couldn't quite figure out their
Yeah.
knack for going beyond.
What can be destroyed can always be rebuilt. All it takes to recreate
The
the
fuck
most
was that?
fearsome
Why was there a red cell there?
warrior in the universe
I
is
don't know what that
one
is about.
single cell.
Time and again, the world and its cuddly forest critters were threatened by the evil and oval
Obviously,
Dr.
Sonic.
Ivo Eggman Robotnik.
And time and again, that same world and those same critters were saved by Sonic the Hedgehog.
I never really followed Sonic shit at all. Hey, Little Reaper, how's it going? I watched the video you recommended to me that you made. Really fucking good job. I can't wait to see what you do next.
No matter how many robotic badniks the good doctor threw at his blue spiky nemesis, his schemes were always 6 spin jumps to the glowing weak
Boosted.
spot away from getting cracked
Yes,
and
this is
scrambled.
that was
But it
boosted,
wouldn't
yeah.
be over easy for Eggman. If he couldn't defeat the Blue Blur, he would make his own Metal Sonic.
Well, 0 points on creativity for that name, but goddamn, he does look metal as hell.
They say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery,
No problem,
so
man.
Eggman built Metal with more than enough blast processing to match his prototype.
Metal can
There's no way Metal Sonic beats Cell, right?
zoom around at massively hypersonic speeds, fast enough to fly to nearby planets in seconds.
He's tougher than Eggman's standard equipment, some of which can survive black holes.
Metal can use all of Sonic's power-ups, and even replicate his classic spin dash and light speed attack.
But he's got moves of his own.
He can attack with energy blasts, fire a chest laser, surround himself in an electric aura, or an impenetrable force field.
By overloading his circuitry with energy, Metal can activate V Maximum Overdrive, quadrupling his acceleration and obliterating anything in his path, at the risk of self-destructing.
You'd think all that'd be enough to turn the rodent into roadkill, but it only took one showdown on Stardust Speedway to send Metal to the scrap heap.
On paper, Metal should be able to outmatch Sonic in every way, and yet he doesn't. For some reason, Eggman wasn't able to capture that ineffable
That would probably be cool. For me, I don't know enough
quality that
about
makes
Sonic.
Sonic the fastest
Or
man
Metal
alive.
Sonic.
Metal's defeats at the hands of Sonic and his friends sure
All I know is that there is a Super Saiyan Sonic for some reason that
his
exists.
AI into a seething hatred of his rival and a burning desire to prove himself superior.
Yeah, well, when you're getting your supersized red ass
Down at
handed
the
to you
pub.
by Charmy B,
Enjoy your food, just don't drink and drive.
you know something's gone
Drive responsibly, drink responsibly.
horribly wrong.
Metal's defeats gave him an existential crisis. If he was created to surpass Sonic and couldn't even manage that, what was he? Why should he
A
exist?
failure.
Never one to admit defeat, Eggman took Metal back to the drawing board and birthed him anew. You,
This Neo Metal Sonic was, above all, far smarter.
especially after he copied Eggman's intelligence and took over his empire. And we
Oh, damn.
literally copied. If Metal started as Sonic's copycat, why not hunt all of his furry friends down and copy them too?
Neo Metal Sonic is equipped with scanners in his optic receptors that can copy a person's biodata, giving him the ability to recreate all of their abilities in seconds.
Like
Oh, so he could literally just sell then
a
as
Sonic
well.
Boom, Knuckles' his hammer punch, Tails' his magical swiveling asshole, and Big's ability to suck at fishing.
Metal isn't just
Oh, God.
learning their moves, he can replicate more esoteric powers like Silver
There is Super Sonic and he has all the chaos. Yeah, that's the Super Saiyan Sonic that I was
manufacture
thinking
Rouge's
of.
mechanical bat guards, or alter his very biology to copy Espio's chameleon invisibility. It's worth mentioning that biological data is a real scientific term and can refer to molecular structures like the genome sequence within a living organism's DNA.
Yeah, his copying is so busted, it doesn't really matter that he's a robot made of metal. If you can do it, so can he. Probably helps that he can shapeshift and regenerate his whole body from a puddle.
Likely by copying
So he's Mercury. He's like the fucking Terminator Mercury fucking robot.
one of the mightiest beings on the planet, the god of destruction, Chaos.
Not the only chaos he's encountered.
By scanning the ultimate life form, Shadow the Hedgehog, he gained his ability to manipulate some of the most powerful artifacts in the universe.
Oh, can he also go fucking Super
You
Saiyan?
mean the Chaos Emeralds?
Yes. The emeralds contain an infinite wellspring of mystical power and life energy.
Of course
With
he can do
them,
that
Metal
as
can
well.
perform Shadow's chaos control. He can teleport, warp, and distort
Shadow
space,
Sonic looks
boost his
cool.
speed, and stop time. And with either the Chaos Emeralds or Master Emerald,
course he
he
can
can
do that.
transform into Super Neo Metal Sonic.
Oh my god.
Completely
dude.
invulnerable and completely golden, Super Neo Metal Sonic can move at faster than light speeds and has the power to move continents.
The emeralds are
the
inconceivably
fuck?
powerful. They've been used to fuel Eggman's Death Egg, which could obliterate star systems.
On their own, they can even create and
fuck?
destroy whole universes.
Other super characters like Sonic have battled and defeated beings like the Time Eater, who could destroy multiple dimensions and timelines in seconds. At their peak, 3 super hedgehogs have even fought Solaris, who nearly consumed Sonic's entire
What
multiverse.
the
So
fuck
Super
happened
Neo
in
Metal Sonic
Sonic?
should be just as powerful
the
as
fuck
any of
is
them.
all of
Though
this?
he's gotta be quick because all that power only lasts a short time.
The road to total domination was nearly at an end. After manipulating Sonic and friends
Sonic X when you were young. I never watched the Sonic X. I don't know what that is. I'm assuming it's an animated show.
and copying their abilities, Metal eventually combined their biodata with the mighty Egg Fleet and became Metal Overlord.
But yeah.
Complete with missiles, giant crystal projectiles, and the strength to match 3 supersonic heroes all by himself, Overlord is all-time final boss material.
And he knew it. His ego might as well have had its own health bar. Metal's drive to surpass his rival had morphed into the delusional belief that he was the original, and Sonic the loathsome copy.
Of
A
course.
copy that Metal had finally
was it on
outclassed.
Cartoon Network?
All the heroes Metal had gathered had to team
Yeah, I
up to
never
take
saw
him
it.
down.
He may have stolen their abilities, but Metal never possessed the thing that made the Sonic heroes successful: their friendship and teamwork.
Aw, how
The power of friendship.
cute! Gag. Probably should have added some of those goddamn rails to the final boss fight, because it is impossible to land on those things. After getting trashed again, Eggman reprogrammed Metal to purge any bits of rebelliousness from
I
his
never
code.
watched Yu Yu
Metal
Hakusho.
returned to being the Eggman Army's chief enforcer.
I watched the Ichigo
always proving
versus,
invaluable as the Bad Doctor's greatest creation.
The Bleach
now
versus Ichigo.
completely
The Bleach
obedient
versus
once
Yu Yu
again.
Hakusho
I don't know, Wiz.
Death Battle.
Who knows
That one was
what's
pretty
really
good.
going on behind those glowing red eyes? Maybe Metal is more cunning than he lets on, and is only biding
No
his
way,
time
it was
until he
Gundam
can
Wing.
take over
Oh,
again.
shit.
Maybe the most powerful thing
The first
that Metal
Gundam I
copied
watched was Gundam
was the
Seed.
ability to lie.
Sonic X is free on YouTube, but the only good season is season 3 when they go to space. Oh,
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
I'm very curious what the outcome for this is going to
Oh,
be. They made Metal Sonic seem very powerful. And this is basically a fight. There is no power of friendship between the two of these, so...
Salutations, Dr. Robotnik. Your reputation precedes you. Bring me your strongest fighter, or
It's getting late, yeah. I'll catch you later. Congrats on the 61 new members. Fucking, I appreciate it. Thanks for the 10 gift memberships, and thank you, Feeble, for the 50.
face.
And thank you for also joining as a member. Went back to watch your reaction. Glad you liked this. Yeah, no, it was really good. Thanks for cameoing me.
Then prepare to kneel before your master.
Yeah, that looks cool.
Perfect.
Throw the ships at him. It just ran in. Oh, okay, I thought as much. Oh, fuck. Just counter. I'll check in when you're on again. Probably talk on Discord at some point. Yeah, the special beam cannon.
Tell me, does a machine like yourself ever experience fear?
That's what Goku said. He did the fucking giant calculation, okay? What's the Death Star? Fucking spur bombed the Death Star.
Fool, you're dealing with the ultimate life form.
This is fucking sick. Sometimes the animation that fucking Death Battle makes are fucking wild.
Life form data successfully copied.
Oh damn, he copied fucking Cell, yeah. Damn.
It'll take more than that to kill me. Puppet! I know. Now I know everything about you, insect.
Fucking Super Saiyan Sonic. Metal Sonic. He literally had clones of himself earlier fighting. We're doing lucky better. Okay, this is fucking hilarious because Cell in the Team 4-star absolutely fucking hates this move, and it gives him like severe PTSD, especially in the Devil Artemis universe.
Don't you dare.
Of course, into the fucking Cell arena. Of course. This is fucking
Just the
badass.
greatest warrior in the universe. I am all of them.
I mean, technically, Metal Sonic is 2 now because he literally copied him.
If you are all of them, then so am I.
Yeah.
I'll never lose to a machine like.
Fucking hell. Okay, Metal Sonic's sick. Awesome. Yeah, the video has a couple of minutes left.
I'll crush you.
Damn.
KO!
Okay.
Oh, now Metal's got all the powers of the Chaos
Oh,
Emeralds
damn.
and the Z Fighters? Well, that world's fucked. Our
The
bad.
emeralds.
Cell may have been
Yeah.
one of the greatest threats in Dragon Ball Z, but
Fuck.
Eggman's greatest creation ultimately proved too much for him. Let's break this down into 4 categories:
Damn.
strength, speed, abilities, and adaptation.
First up, who was the strongest? Well, it's no surprise that any version of Cell was gonna be way more powerful than base Metal or Neo. Even just using the manga, blowing up a solar system is far beyond the level of power output Metal can match.
Without his stronger forms. With them, the power gap entirely reversed. Not only could Metal match Cell's solar system busting or scaling from Frieza, but he could surpass it with the universe-destroying power of the Emeralds.
But hang on, Wiz. Those Namekians said that Cell was strong enough to threaten a universe on his own.
They did, but they didn't specify how, and there's nothing suggesting he could destroy it in one go, especially since it's only brought up theoretically and without any time frame.
Even being generous and assuming he could just blow it up, final bosses like Time Eater and Solaris can destroy the wider multiverse, and Super Neo Metal would scale to them. Metal Sonic takes the edge in strength.
And with Sonic characters being known for their speed, you might think that was an easy win for Metal.
At his max speed in his super form, he should be comparable to entities like the Time Eater, who in Shadow Generations can destroy entire universes in seconds. By using the radius of the observable universe, we can estimate the Time Eater's destructive wave traveled at about
What the fuck is
180
Sonic?
quadrillion times faster than light.
Certainly impressive, but let's compare that to Goku's flight from heaven to hell shortly after the Cell games, which covered roughly a universe in distance at approximately 180 quadrillion times faster than light.
Right, just like Time Eater. The difference, though, was that Goku was in his base form, way slower than Super Saiyan 2 Gohan or Super Perfect Cell.
Factoring in Super Saiyan multipliers, Super Perfect Cell can move upwards of 100 times faster than that, and so 100 times faster than Metal Sonic. Somehow, Cell takes the edge in speed. You know,
Okay.
the thing Metal was designed for.
Wasn't expecting that. Let's see if any of their abilities could tip the scales.
They shared many of the same powers, like telekinesis, force fields, and energy projectiles. Of note though, Cell's regeneration was clearly superior, able to fully heal from a single cluster of microscopic cells.
On top of that, Cell's Saiyan genes would let him grow in power every time he almost died, and his Cell Juniors gave him the numbers advantage.
And considering Super Neo Metal had a time limit, Cell would have a big advantage in a battle of attrition.
But with Chaos Control, that became a lot tougher.
Cell and his juniors had no way to deal with Metal boosting his speed or stopping time, something that countered Cell's speed advantage and left him open. And with Silver Cycle,
Yeah, technically, like, if Hit had to fight Cell, Hit would fucking absolutely obliterate him because also time manipulation.
Telekinesis, or the Emerald Spatial Distortion, Metal could seriously impair Cell's healing.
So it helped that Cell could fall back on his martial arts abilities in a pinch.
Despite effectively being a newborn, Cell's genetic instincts allowed him to best Earth's most skilled warriors back to back to back.
Metal may have
That's
copied Eggman's brains, but he definitely isn't as good of a fighter. The Sonic heroes haven't trained like the Z fighters, and Metal's been beaten by all of them a bunch of times. So all that in mind, abilities is roughly a wash.
Which leaves us with the one thing they're both known for, their capability to evolve and become more powerful in response to their opponents, aka their adaptation.
And frankly, that's where this back and forth completely breaks. Because at the end of the day, metal can copy Cell, but Cell can't absorb metal.
Cell's ability to physically absorb an opponent is primarily viable against foes he can match or overpower.
Even if he took metal by surprise, he can't absorb fully inorganic robots like Android 16.
Cell was only able to absorb Android 17 and 18 because they were primarily organic.
They're actually more like cyborgs and are only called androids in the English translation.
Metal, on the other hand, can copy a target's biodata through only a few seconds of direct eyesight, something he could easily accomplish during a time stop.
And using it on Cell means he wouldn't just get Cell's powers, but the powers of all of the Z-Warriors too.
Remember, Metal's copying applies to abilities that fundamentally affect his biology, like Espio's invisibility or Chaos's liquid body. Nothing Cell has would be off limits, especially given all of Cell's powers were genetically encoded in the first place, quite literally biodata.
Cell's Saiyan power-ups? Copied. Cell's regeneration? Copied. Cell's key techniques?
Okay, I don't know how well he will be able to regenerate, since at the end of the day, he is a machine, and the regeneration does sort of require him to, you know, be organic.
Believe it or not, copied.
Chaos Emeralds are described as being able to produce life energy, similar to Ki. So there's a precedent for him being able to replicate Cell's power set. And at this point, there's nothing stopping Metal from, say, stopping time and using a Kamehameha to vaporize him at a cellular level, just like Gohan did.
Cell might be able to do anything the Z-Fighters know how to do, but that's not gonna help him, because Metal can do anything Cell knows how to do. Strange, isn't it?
Cell just doesn't have any options to retaliate that Metal wouldn't also possess, including any of his previous advantages. Metal's copy ability is just that overpowered.
Oh, I guess now I get why they called it Sonic CD.
And why's that?
Cell died. Where's
That's what I was thinking about the regeneration.
You get it? CD? Wiz? Where you go? Come on back. Next time on Death Battle.
What are we getting next? We're getting Reza and Reza. Ooh. Oh, fucking Reza and fucking Boom Bomb Death Murder Kill. Fuck, I can't remember his name now. Bakugo? Yeah, we're getting Reza versus Bakugo. That's very fucking interesting. Oh, that's going to be interesting. I can't fucking wait. If you haven't watched the movie, it'll be spoiled because yeah, I'm not going to say anything else. Bakugo, yeah. Bakugo versus Reza. That's going to be very interesting. I can't wait to see that. I'm going to... What's the time? I have enough for... Yeah, I can watch those two. Okay, so I'm just going to stop the recording quickly. Thanks everyone for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, like, sub, and comment down below.